arma virunque cano, Troie qui primus aboris Italiam, fato profugus, laviniaque venit litora. Multillet terris iectatus et alto, vis superam saeve memoram iunonis oberam. Multo quoquet bello passus dum converet urbem, inferetque Deos latio, genus undi Latinum, albanique patres, at qualtae moenia Romae. The opening lines of Virgil's Aeneid, the story of the foundation of Rome by Aeneas, our hero and refugee from the burning city of Troy. Nomen mihi Anselmus Scotus est. My name is Anselm Scott. Salvete omnes ad primum episodium linguam Latinam discendum Aeneum publi Virgilii Maronis. Welcome everyone to the first episode of Learning Latin through the Aeneid of Publius Virgil Maronis. Hoc episodium in Ceptum exodium West. This is the first and the beginning episode. Like you, and along with Saint Augustine of Hippo, ad amaveram enim Latinas, quibus tenere cogebo Aeneae, nescio cuius errores, oblitus errorum meorum. I had loved Latin. I was compelled to hold on to Aeneas, his wanderings in ignorance, forgetting my own. Aeneid divisus est in libros duodecimos. The Aeneid is divided into 12 books. Liber primus ad librum sextum errores Aeneae et amorem didonis continet. Haec interesse nobis. Books 1 to 6 regard the wanderings of Aeneas and the love story with Dido, the queen. These are our interest. Liber septimus ad duodecim de bello sunt. Haec magis interest Virgil, qui scripsit Maiorerum mihi nascitur ordo, maius opus moveo. Books 7 to 12 are about war. These are of greater interest to Virgil, who says, now greater things are born in their order. I am moved to a greater work. Let's launch straight into a 6-verse English poem summarizing books 1 to 6. Librum primum. Arms and the man I sing, of Aeneas, founder of Rome eternal, tempest tossed by a jealous goddess, Juno, wife of capricious creator and father Jove, but a haven for our hero, perhaps even a home with the queen of Carthage, Dido. Librum alterum. She falls in love as he tells the tale of the Trojan horse, Greek deceit, the burning of King Priam's city, cruelly slain by the sword. Our hero's dad on his back, his son at his side, Anchises, Ascanius, escaping onto the deeps with their worthy warriors and household gods. Librum tertium. Many a peril Jupiter permits as they sail the Aegean and the Med. Horrific harpies, Scylla and Charybdis, Mount Etna's monster, the Cyclops. Librum quartum. But though he lays with Phoenician queen, leave to remain is not ordained. Her longing sighs turn to anguished cries as she slays herself on a burning pyre and vows revenge from Hades. Librum quintum. Back to Sicily Aeneid speeds, with games and prizes for the boys, while jealous Juno stirs a fury amongst their wives, whose fiery darts from Vulcan fail to end the Italian quest. Librum sextum. But before they land on the Lavinian sands, Aeneas embarks from the shores of the Styx, and in the underworld the shade of Dido shuns his steps, wreaking revenge on his better betrayal, though his father Anchises receives him well, foretells great glory for Rome unto Augustus' triumph.
Urbs antiqua fuit, Tiri tenuere colon, Carthag Italiam contra Tiberina que longe Ostia, divos opum studiis sperrima belli. Sumpius Aeneas, raptos quexoste panatis, classe home, fama superae terrenotus, Italiam quaero patriet genus abium summo.
Dixit, et a vertens rosea cervicere fulsit. Ambroseaque comae divinum vertigodorem spira vere. Pedes vestis de fluxit ad immos, et verin cessu patuit Dea.
Restit ad Aeneas claraque lucere fulsit, Zumorosques Deo simulis, nam quipsa decorum Caesar nato gentrix, lumenque juventae purpureum, et laetos oculis ad flarat honores. Equone credite tucri, quid est tibio Danaos et bona ferentis. Hoc dicens altaria ad ipsa trementem traxit, et in multo lapsantem sanguine nati, implicuitque comam laeva, dextraque coruscum extradit, ac lateri capello tenus abdit vensem. Erg age care pater, cervicim ponnere nostrae, ipse subibumeris, nec me laboris te gravavit, quores cumque cadent, un et commune periculum, una salus ambovus erit. Mici parvus iullus sit commes, et longe servet vestigia coniux. Et pater Anchises darefatis vela iubebat, litora cum patria lacrima, sportusque revinquo, et campo ubi Troia fuit. Feror exul in altrum, cum socis natoque per natibus et magnis divi. At sunt arpi et magnis quatiunt clangoribus alas, diripiuntque da pes, contactum quomnia faedant in mundo, tum vox taetrum dirintur adorem. Extrum Scylla latus, live implacata Charybdis odzibet, at quimo baratri tergurget e vastos sorbet in abruptum fluctus, brususque sub auras erigit alternos, et sidera verberat unda. Hic me, dum trepidi crudeli alimine licunt, in memores soci vasto ciclopis in antro deseruere, domus sanie dabusque cruentis, intus opac ingens, ipsa ardus altaque pulset sidera, di talem terdis avete che pestem. Solo domo maeret vacua, stratisque relictis incubat, il absens absentem auditque videtque, aut gremias scanium genitoris imagine capta detinent. Fandum si fallere possit amore, moriemur in ultae, ser moriamo, ait, sic liuatire sub umbras, aureatum coccolis ignem crudelis ab alto dardanus, et nostrae secum ferat omnia mortis. Verra tonitae monstris, actaque furore conclamant, rapiuntque focis penetralibus ignem, par spoliant aras, fronda virgulta facesque coniciunt, furit immissis vulcanus sabenis, trans paperet remos et pictas abiete pupes. Facilis descensus averno, noctes atque dies patet atri annua ditis, sed revocare gradum superasque vadere ad auras, hoc opus hic labo est. Illa solo fixos oculos aversa tenebat, nec magis incepto vultum sermone movetur, quam si dura silex aut stet malpesia cautes.
Let's focus in on some of these quotes. Let's hear how Virgil evokes different emotions in his soundscape. You do not need any Latin to feel the feelings his onomatopoeia press upon your ears. First, the harpies. Notice the hard and harsh sounds here. At sunt arpiae, et magnis quatiunt clangoribus alas. They shook their huge clanging wings. And disgust. Contactu quomnia foedant immundo. Everything they came into contact with became foul. More hard and harsh sounds with Scylla and Charybdis, between a monster, a rock and a hard place. Live implacata Charybdis obsidet, sorbet in abruptum fluctus. And the women, the wives of Aeneas and his companions, who rage in fury as they set fire to his ships. Atonitae monstris, actaque furore. They were driven by furor, or anger. Conclamant rapiuntque focis penetralibus ignem. And back to book 3 with the character of Aeneid, who is terrified of the monster Cyclops. Notice the and ts sounds that evoke his fear, especially when he cries out, Hic me dum trepidi, di talem terris abetite pestem. and again back in Book 2 as King Priam is slaughtered by Achilles' son. Altare ad ipsa trementem traxit in multa lapsantem sanguinenati. But perhaps the most difficult, the most expressive emotions are those of the Queen Dido. As she ums and she ahs and she sighs and she longs and she grieves. Moriemur in vultae, sed moriamur. Juvat sumbras. And as she sits alone in mourning, sola domo maret vacoa. And as she turns away from Aeneas in Hades, illa solo fixos oculo. But all is sweetness and light with our hero Aeneas and his mother, the goddess Venus or Venus. She spreads sweet fragrance as her footsteps leave her beloved son. A vertens rosea cervicere fulsit, ambrosiaeque comae. And Aeneas, as he stands in glory before the Queen Dido, restit ad Aeneas claraque in lucere fulsit. Laetos oculis ad flarat honores. There are two main methods of learning Latin. One, by grammar and translation. Two, the communicative or natural method. Here we focus on the second. Check out Scorpio Martianus for his illuminating work on this approach. I believe too it's best to approach the Latin language as close as possible to how the ancients encountered it. The Greek philosopher Aristotle wrote on grammar and rhetoric, he grammatike and he rhetorice. We are starting with rhetoric before we get into the grammar. According to Aristotle, rhetoric consists of logos, paphos and ethos. Logos, argument, events, paphos, emotions, ethos, the credibility of the speaker or writer. Today we've encountered logos, the history or the events of books 1 to 6, and the characters, the heroes, male hero, or herois, female hero or heroine, Aeneas and Dido. We have begun to encounter some paphos, the emotional expression Virgil uses with his language. The Romans had 5 canons or rules of rhetoric. See if you can spot my use of these in today's video. Inventio, invention. Dispositio, arrangement. Elocutio, rhetorical devices and figures of speech. Memoria, memory. And pronunciatio, delivery. In subsequent episodes, we will dive into some grammar using vocabulary from the Aeneid books 1 to 6, and more rhetoric as we hear more of the rhythms, the dactylic hexameter, the meter of the Aeneid's poetic form. Also to come, a focus on the OCR, GCSE and A-level Aeneid set texts from 2025 to 2028 about the Aeneid, and more recitations. Thank you everyone for watching, and goodbye. Gratias ago vobis et valetomnes.